Hello, my name is Bruno, and I'm a technical consultant and developer, part of the SAP Business One team members at Consensus International. Today, I'll be presenting an exciting new solution developed in-house here at Consensus, designed to streamline the processing of vendor invoices in SAP Business One. Let's dive right in. As many of you know, processing invoices manually is a time-consuming and error-prone task. It often involves repetitive data entry, leading to an increased risk of human error and significant delays in getting your AP invoices into the system. Our goal is to eliminate these inefficiencies by automatically processing vendor invoices with minimal to no manual intervention. So, how does it work? For this demo, I will be using this file as an example. Let's say this is a PDF file for an invoice that I received from my vendor, and I want to import it into SAP Business One. To process this invoice file through our AP automation solution, we have two options. We can manually place the file inside a specific directory to be captured and processed by our service, or have our service integrated to your Office 365 inbox to automatically capture and process the invoices as they arrive. For this demo, I will be showing the first method. The directory to be used is predefined upon the solution setup, and it can be a network directory shared with other users. The folder structure inside this directory is managed by our service, meaning that all of its subfolders are created automatically. Here, my directory is set as C Documents, and in this directory's root, we have a folder for the SAP company, and inside it, two folders, one for AP invoices and another for purchase orders. Inside each of these folders, there's a subfolder for each vendor of your choosing. The vendors are chosen by simply setting a user field called Sync BP for document extraction to Yes in the business partner master data. So, for instance, if I change this field to Yes for this vendor, after a few seconds, a folder with the vendor's code and name should be created automatically inside the directory. To process the invoice, we simply need to place the PDF inside of one of the business partner's folders, and our service will begin processing it in the background. Please note that the type of document to be created and the vendor it will be assigned to is defined by where in the folder structure the file was placed. So, in this case, it's an AP invoice document to be assigned to the vendor Ocean Computers. Inside SAP, we can check the processing status by navigating to Purchasing AP, Document Extraction, Documents. This window will show a history of every file processed by our solution. As you can see, there's a new record for the file we just placed. The invoice is currently being processed by our service in the background, and this can take a few seconds to be completed. If I hit refresh, it should be already processed. There it is. As you can see, the document processing status has changed to Done, and the document creation status has changed to Created. So, with this line selected, I can click on the button Open Draft to show the AP invoice draft that was just created. The documents are always created as a draft first, in case you need to make any adjustments to it. In this case, I can see that the document was correctly processed with all the items, quantities, and prices that were present in the invoice file, so I won't be making any adjustments, and I will simply add the invoice. And that's it! If I go to the relationship map or the invoice, we can see that our solution was able to identify the base purchase order and goods receipt for this invoice, based on the reference PO number available on it. So the documents in SAP are properly linked. Note that it was also able to identify a down payment of $500 that was paid for this purchase, and this amount was correctly drawn to the invoice. Also, in the AP invoice document that was just created, we can see that the original PDF file is available as an attachment, in case you need it. It's important to note that our solution needs a way to know what each item in the invoice should be in SAP. For this mapping, our solution uses the items descriptions or codes found in the invoice to look for corresponding items in SAP. This mapping can be done on a vendor-by-vendor basis using the business partner catalog numbers, or globally in the item master data directly, using the appropriate fields for the item description and catalog number. But what happens if an item from the invoice cannot be identified in SAP? For this scenario, I've prepared this other invoice file with a different item. Let's process it the same way we did with the first invoice. That is, by simply placing the file inside the folder for this vendor. Like last time, Our service detects the new file and begins processing it in the background, and we can check the status in SAP. After a few moments, the processing should be completed. However, unlike last time, the document creation has now failed. But don't worry. In this column, we can see that the reason for this is because our solution could not find an item match in SAP with the description found in the invoice. So, let's add this item to the business partner catalog for this vendor. I add a new line and choose the correct item I want to match. And for the description, I copy the exact one found in the invoice. Now, back to the Documents window. With this line selected, I can simply press Reattempt Document Creation. Note that this will revert the document creation status back to pending. And after a few seconds, I can click Refresh again to see that the draft creation was now successful, and the item was correctly matched to the one we specified in the Business Partner catalog. And with this, we have reached the end of the presentation. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it valuable and insightful.